Well, when I first got here, it was already here, but it was still a new airplane. The Air Force bought it against the wishes of everybody who knew the airplane. They said, you know, this plane is not flyable. It's just horrible. So it's going to have a lot of maintenance problems, and it did. But you know, the maintenance problems were kind of like self-inflicted, because when I first got here, I had this young technician. He says, well, you know, part of the problem that we have right now is that we don't know what's wrong with the airplane because nobody can operate the onboard computer, so we can document all the work that's done. And I said, okay, nobody can. He says, well, I'm the only one who can, and there's too much for me to do. So I said, okay. And then I went to the supply man, and then I asked him, I said, hey, tell me about all these parts. He said, we got all these parts on back order to the manufacturer, because the Air Force does not carry these parts. Then I said, wait. Now, if you are ordering through the manufacturer, the Air Force does not know that these airplanes are not flyable, because job control does not know. So what we have to do is we have to go in there and get all those part numbers, manufacturer part numbers, convert them to stock numbers, so we can get this pair of parts, and the Air Force will know what we need. Well, you know what? The parts were right there in supply.
Yeah, once we got them stocked.
Yeah, well, once you got the FSN, okay, the parts started coming in right away. So I arranged to have training classes at night and on weekends to get everybody trained to use the onboard computer, and you dedicated a lot of time to fixing that. You know, we created 2 flight line superintendents, one to take care of the flight line or the flyers, and one to take care of the hardbrokes.
Yep.
And that's how we were able to get
We've gone to and from and back to and back from, and right now we just have the one pro super, and he manages the whole flight line, but he's got a couple of expediters underneath that we divide the fleet in half, and it's numerically in half.
Yeah.
You know, you might have 2 flyers over here and 3 flyers over there, or all the flyers over here. It just depends on whether you got the high numbers or the low numbers.
Yeah.
But the expediters are the ones with their face in the forms.
Yeah.
Making sure that the status is reported correctly to Joe here, and Joe makes sure the status is reported correctly to job control.
So basically the same part.
Exactly. Full circle again, right?
Yeah, really, because and that was a concept that hadn't been thought about yet when I got here, and when I had to talk to DCM and explain to him that, you know, the one pro super was being overwhelmed by all the work that had to be done. So you have to divide the work. So I got the people to fix the airplanes, but you know, we have to, you know, somehow or another have somebody to guide them. So after that, you know, the production of airplanes flyable just started, you know, they went up.
Coming back to life.
Yeah, but it took some effort on the part of everybody. So this is a flight line. I tell you what, right there, I saw this airplane flying, burning on one side, okay? And when he got over there, made that left right hand turn over there, and I was right there, I said, you know, when that airplane makes that left right hand turn, and I'm standing right there at the edge of the runway, I'm gone. that same day I went to CBPO.
At least it would be quick, right?
Yeah, it would be very quick.
Buried in the same sentence.
Yeah, yeah, because you know, like when I got to the crash site, oh man, you should have seen all the mess that was left by that airplane.
Yeah.
Not much left. It's scattered in pieces everywhere. And you know, that one that ran into El Capitan Peak, there was nothing left. It went straight into the side of the mountain.
Yeah, Joe just finished a jet engine investigation mishap course.
Yeah, I get to see a lot of the old photos from old crashes.
Oh, really?
Thankfully, it doesn't seem like we crash quite as much.
No, I think the number of airplanes we have in the inventory is down.
Yeah.
The amount of sorties we fly is down. So I guess proportionally we're, you know, I can't remember. It's been a couple of years since I've seen the safety summary, but I think it is a downward trend over about 10 years. Proportionally the number of airplanes we're losing. Of course, we just lost an F-22 and a C-17 this year out of Alaska. I'm not sure. There was another mishap in Congress. I can't remember what it was.
I tell you what, you know, my highlight thing here was getting right there on the third seat right there because we had an airplane that had massive engine problems, and the DCM came out and he just grabbed me by the arm. He says, "You're gonna go over there. You're gonna make damn sure that the airplane, that the engines work." And that's a radical transition, going from avionics to engines.
Purpose, yeah.
But I got on there, and fortunately, we had some real good engine technicians. I mean, we had some super engine technicians, and they were able to walk me through the whole checklist, and everything passed along the way. And when we shut down the engines, the DCMs, he was waiting right there. Tell me about this airplane. I said, "I think you need an air crew to get in here and fly it." So that took care of that. But yeah, this was an exciting place to be when I got here.
This one right here, 7.4, is kind of a loner. The same ones over there with the OT on the tail, they're doing all test work for lots of different functions. And one of the functions we're testing on this is a new radar package. The radar package we have right now, frankly, it's just a piece of junk. We spend a huge amount of time and money throwing parts at the radar system we have right now. So this is a test bird.
What we're doing on 136 right there.
Yeah, they're putting a new array on 136. You can see it in the box there. So this is the test bird for the new radar package that's going to fix a lot of the problems that we're dealing with right now. And this guy's flying all kind of sorties. They're down into the last part of the terrain following functionality of it. So it is really showing a lot of promise. It'll probably still be 3 years before we see it in the field, but that's what we're doing with this particular airplane. It's a loaner for test.
I remember when I was here that we were going from nuclear capable to conventional bombs, and the problem that we had with the rotary racks, trying to get them to stop.
We're doing pretty good with launchers. This one's got a forward bay tank, so they can fly the long rotation sorties. But we're pretty good with rotary. As long as you don't try. They have one launcher that's more of a big bomb rack. It's a 28 bomb, so it can hold 28 Mark 82s. And that one gives us trouble with releases.
That's a lot of bombs.
28 times 3. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be on the other end. That's carpet bombing. We don't really do that much anymore.
It's hard to believe that probably some of the airplanes take off from here fully loaded to drop their cargo someplace else and return.
Well, they can do that, and I guess they did do that in 03 for Iraqi Freedom Start. But yeah, one of the changes from the configuration of this doors are still separated.
I remember of course, the crew chiefs that I was working with at that time, they'd been around for many years, and they could remember that in 57, and they just kept telling me that this was and they said, the reason that one went out of style was that it only carried nuclear bombs, and not everything was that was pretty.
Well, this jet has done a marvelous adaptation, and I tell you what we're using it for in Afghanistan now is we couldn't live without it.
Yeah.
We would not be executing the mission in Afghanistan if we didn't have these things flying sorties over there every day.
Well, I know it's really a fantastic airplane when you consider. Let's see, where's those little things on the side that stabilize it?
Stability control vane, and that helps us with terrain following. It's basically a canard to allow the nose to dip and rise, and a shock absorber for the ride when you're doing low-level terrain following.
There it is right there. I can see it. Engineering-wise, it's a phenomenal piece of work, okay? But maintenance-wise, it takes a lot of skill to.
That hasn't changed.
No, it still does. We don't have a whole lot of problems with them, but yeah, if you get the wrong guy doing the repacking the bearings or whatever on them,
you don't have that thing, you're not going anywhere. So, yep. Swept wing airplane, the original one. Now, right after the F-111. I think we used to work. The old flight. I used to work over there. I think it was. That's where the specialist flight used to be located. It was in one of those buildings right there. It was crowded. I'll tell you what, okay, having what 280 people to supervise is a massive number. All specialists.
Yeah.
And still, some of them still carried the union card. Okay.
Right, because that used to be back shoppers a couple of weeks before.
Especially avionics people. They were the ones that had the most difficult problem with.
You had mentioned that you were training some of those folks to be crew chiefs. Right now, with the number of folks we have, there is absolutely no way in the amount of work that I could cut an avionics guy loose to go be a dedicated crew chief. We just could not afford to do it. We would miss other work.
Yeah.
If anything, we could probably do it the other way around, try to make a crew chief and an avionics guy, but none of them are smart enough.
In perspective, we run right around 200 specialists now. And I'm assuming we probably had more airplanes than you guys did at the time, because we got, what, 33?
36.
Oh, that's more.
But, under normal ops, when everybody's home, it's 25 to 28 here on station that we'd have to...
Well, you know, the thing is that we weren't fixing airplanes. We had a lot of people, but we weren't fixing airplanes. So once I started getting the parts in from supply, then we started fixing airplanes, and then I started putting them to work, and a lot of training going on. But prior to that, I mean, what's that?
I don't know why, but they keep paying me, so I keep showing up.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way it was. As long as the paycheck keeps coming in, you keep working, or you keep coming in, okay, not necessarily working. So a lot of them weren't doing any work. So putting them to learn the flight line, to me, it helped the crew chiefs out because they were short. And, they would always tell me that, we're short. I said, well, guess what?
I got a guy for it.
Got 15. Yeah, and they kind of enjoyed it, but it worked out in the end because that's what you have right now, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. No more union cards.
No more union cards. Everybody is short right now. If anybody's got a union card right now, it's the weapons.
Oh, hey, let me tell you something. I call the weapons people my favorite union. Okay? I call them my favorite union because there was nothing that I could tell them where they didn't take out the PO.
Yeah, sorry, can't do that.
Yeah, my favorite union. Okay, I still call them that, my favorite union. In fact, I found a letter signed by the squadron commander authorizing me to wear the munitions